All right, I've got to find something here to use as a bell because I still haven't been up to the cabinet. All right. No, that's not it. No. Well, ding. I got to get over to Arcata sometime. Pick up our camera. Good morning, Rotarians and friends. I didn't see any visiting Rotarians hop on the call, but we do have a couple of guests here, I know. Would you like to take a moment and introduce yourself, Angela?
Sure. My name is Angela Robershot, and I work with, I'm the branch manager at Service Master by Chronic in Eureka. We're a new branch, but not a new Service Master. Robert and Michelle Chronic own 3 branches of Service Master. Their base is in Reading, and they have one in Chico and now one in Eureka. And I am 4th generation Humboldt County, and they are just moving in to our area.
Well, welcome to the meeting. And I know Brandy invited you and then she didn't show up. So we're all here for you. Thanks for joining us this morning.
She's fishing.
I know. The halibuts are allowed again. So that's a big deal for anybody who fishes. I imagine that's where Cam and Craig might be this morning too. Hi, Thomas. Thanks. I'm glad I asked so I could get it right the second time. Thomas, you're our speaker this morning from Open Door. Is that right?
That is correct. I'm a site administrator for a few of the clinics for Open Door and run multiple services.
Excellent. We're really looking forward to hearing from you this morning. Very important and inspiring work. And I do see Holly here. Thanks for popping in again. Looking forward to turning you from guest to red badge very soon, I hope. Well, welcome everybody. Maggie, did you see any other guests pop on? I'm trying to see everybody here, but.
Nira is with us.
Oh, hi, Yuri. I did say hi earlier. Thanks for being here from afar yet again. How soon do you come on over, Yuri?
If everything works out, it'll be on the 1st of October.
That's soon. That's great. We have less than a month to go then. I hope it all works out. Well, thanks for being here, everybody. I'd like to do a little look back because I want to qualify. I hope nobody is upset that I usually get the birthdays the month after. And a little backstory, I have missed some of my important family members' birthdays or other important events. It's kind of my thing. So I eventually remember because people remind me. So let's have a quick look back at birthdays in August. If you're on this list, why don't we start with Terri and Romi, who happen to share a birth date, I understand. And I think Marty or Terri, when you come off mute, Marty's going to need to mute.
Yeah, I know. Hang on.
He's all geared up for his
that's
craft
better.
talk.
Oh, now I can't hear it.
Hang on.
Okay, that's better. I can't hear it.
Romy, would you like to go ahead while Terri goes and bops Marty's mic off?
The best part of Terry's and my birthday actually this year was an exchange with Terri that was so sweet and wonderful. I was actually, I didn't like my birthday, not at all this year. I was like, no, thank you. We're just gonna say do over another time. And it wasn't that I care about aging. It just COVID. I had broken my hand. It was still healing and it was yucky. And I had COVID and a little skin cancer. I mean, it was just everything. And so I just said, pass. We'll take a birthday when it's better time. And
Fair
so
enough.
I still get to plan a fun birthday.
That sounds great. And Howard, I understand you did a little something special for your birthday.
Yes, we went to Crater Lake Lodge. I've always wanted to go there. I love the National Park Grand Lodges. And we had a nice room there with a view of the crater. And we took a hike up the local mountain, and I was pleased at the age of 80 to be able to get to the top. And the word passed up and down the mountain that this 80-year-old was hiking up the trail. So I was famous for a few hours. Everybody knew me along the route.
That's
So,
fantastic, Howard.
yeah,
That is a beautiful spot. Just
Yeah.
the color of that water under the open sky is fantastic.
yes.
And well done. I've been up those trails, and yeah, that's quite a hoofing. So you should be famous for that. Well done.
Thank you.
I see Marty and Terry have decided to consolidate. Terry, do you want to say a little bit about your birthday?
Sure, we decided to turn one computer off because we were having a little issue there.
Perfect.
Had a great day, and I echo what Romy said. And we tried to go to Sushi Spot on my birthday, and they were really busy. So we went to Naveen's, and I had Eggs Benedict for my birthday dinner and sushi the next night. So it was great.
That sounds great. I've often missed out on the Sushi Spot, and figured out this last weekend that if we order by phone at about 4:30, we can get our takeout by about 7. So very popular. I didn't see Tama on the call. And Siva, I apologize if I didn't see you come on. Are you here? Nope, doesn't look like. And I think we missed Ashley, but Steve is here. I know that.
Yeah, I'm here. So I got to start my birthday out with an early morning bike ride in the woods on my mountain bike that I was able to buy at the end of June. I was lucky to be able to find one that I was looking for in Oregon. And so for me, getting up in the morning and going for an early morning bike ride is awesome. I got to work during the day, but I'm not quite retired yet, hopefully soon. But my wife made me a lovely dinner. I wanted Thanksgiving dinner, and I said, well, let's just get a chicken at Costco and we'll call it a turkey, and then we'll make everything else. So that's what we did. And we basically had Thanksgiving dinner for my birthday. And this weekend, my daughter Christina is going to come for a little visit from Reading, which will be nice. And we'll just hang out with them. So had a real nice time.
That sounds great. Yeah, a chicken is a turkey for two, isn't it?
Yeah, well, or 4, depending on how hungry you are.
2 for 2 nights. Well, I hope Christina is safe and sound as she comes over 299. I know there's a lot going on between here and there. So
Highway 36, because I think 299
Oh,
is still
right.
closed, unless I'm mistaken.
that's probably like, well,
Yeah.
tell her to be careful. 36 has, I think, the most turns of any highway per length. So it's fun if you're paying attention.
Exactly.
Exactly. And I, just as a matter of recognition, Joyce or somebody clued me in. I understand that one of your sons did a fine job at a concert recently. Was that Howard? You mentioned that, I think.
Yes, he played brilliantly. I was totally impressed because he's just finished his undergraduate at Oberlin, and he was playing with professionals, very good professionals, 2 from the Bay Area who came up, and they did Beethoven quartet, which is very demanding. So you can be very, very proud of your son, Steve.
It was awesome. That's our son Carson, who was the exchange student on the Noon Club, went to Switzerland when he was in high school. And it was an awesome concert. Howard and his wife were there on both Friday or Saturday and Sunday of last weekend when my son Carson was playing. It was really a joy for us to hear the wonderful music and to see my son play. And that was right before Monday morning. He hops in his car and begins his drive across the U.S. to go to graduate school in Boston. So he drove across the U.S. 4 days, I think, or 5 days. It was insane. And so now he's at Boston Conservatory of Music. So he's working on his graduate degree.
Fantastic. Well, I know he's been working very hard on that for a very long time, and he's definitely inspiring to hear. So,
and
thanks
he's
for sharing.
be the principal violinist, guest violinist for the Eureka Symphony at the December concert. So I'll
Perfect. So
want to see him play in December.
please do remind us. That would be fantastic. So other things. Now I actually haven't forgotten my own anniversary, but I have forgotten others, such as my parents. So again, don't feel offended that we waited till August or September to talk about August. Is Luke on the call? Luke and Caitlin? No? Okay. How about Jessica? Jessica, I saw you come on. Maybe she stepped away. And Steve's not here.
Jess, you're muted.
Sorry, I was trying to press the space bar and that was not working. James and I had a great anniversary. It was 11 years married, 22 years together. And we went down to Southern Humboldt and spent a night at Benbow, and then spent a night at my godfather's property in Redway, and we drove all over creation down there, all kinds of crazy roads. We did an amazing hike. And then the big thing was we did some reconnaissance for my parents just celebrated 50 years married, and we had a little just a small gathering for them at family property in Redway, and so that was really fun. So yeah.
That sounds very nice.
Yeah.
Sarah, I don't know, is it on the call? Sarah Hiller, but I do believe I see Rachel hanging out over there. She's probably muted and off camera because she's got the little guy.
Hey, morning.
Morning.
Yeah, it was 2 years, and so we had just sat out on the deck and had some steaks and corn and mashed potatoes, all from the garden. Not the steak, but the steak was from Ferndale meat. But yeah, it was lovely.
Wait, I just want to dwell here with the little guy on the camera. My gosh. Just want to squeeze him.
Say morning, guys.
Morning. Gosh, he's getting big fast. My goodness. Feeding him all that good Ferndale produce, right? How about Terry and Marty and Ray and Holly happen to share an anniversary date?
No, you talk.
Yeah, well, Terry and I had our 39th this year, and we're still having a good time playing together, having fun together, and well, we went all over the place. We stayed here and hung out. And I can't remember what we did actually.
Me neither, but it must have been
It was fun.
Whatever it was.
It was good.
Well, we all know you're both strong, independent people, but I got to say on this Zoom thing, you look better together. So this works in the anniversary theme. I didn't see Ray hop on this morning, but I believe Randy's here. And Randy, I'm sorry that Larrupin just didn't quite work out on the date this year.
No, it didn't. But we made it last night. So
excellent.
We were in Oregon and Washington the week before, taking our daughter Marissa to college. So we didn't get back in time to get a reservation, and they were full on our anniversary. So, but we made it to Larrupin last night.
It's a different sort of thing right now. They have been busy all summer long.
It is. This was our 32nd, number 32, and we've made just about, if we might have missed one or two, but most of our anniversaries have been at Larrupin. We've been attending Larrupin since they were in West Haven.
Yep.
So we're
excellent. Well, I'm glad you ended up getting in there. How about I talked about what I did. So Randy and I share a love for Larrupin, and Elizabeth and I were actually married there. So we had our 28th anniversary on the 28th at Larrupin, and now they have garden tables out there that are right literally smack dab where we were standing as we said our vows. And that was pretty special to get that table and be outdoors. But we spent the weekend in Trinidad, borrowed my dad's house, and got to see whales for the second time in my life, frolicking out off of Trinidad Head, and that was pretty fantastic and magic. So, man, I feel so lucky where we live. There's really no better place I'd rather be. Speaking of Marty, we have a craft talk this morning. I've got to preface this with, to my knowledge, which could be flawed, Marty is the quickest to get from red badge induction to the end of his red badge to blue badge requirements, and this is it. So Marty, without further ado, take it away. And I'm going to turn off the screen share for a moment, since you said you didn't have any slides, and give you the full screen.
Okay, thank you much, President Ian. Aloha, guten morgen, buenos dias, sunrisers. Yes, I'm Marty Lay, and thanks for you letting me up your average age and join you in service above self. I was born in San Francisco in 1949, 5 weeks preemie, and they put me in a box, and I was ready to get out and rock. So my parents were first generation Americans. Dad was German, my mom was Danish, and we lived in a kind of a blue collar working neighborhood, very diverse neighborhood, very ethnically spread out, and all the people in the neighborhood took care of my brother and I, who was born in 1951. We started to give my mom problems from day one, and she was a very patient woman, and my dad was too. He was a house painter, did Victorian homes and mixed his own colors, custom colors, and painted. My mom did all the bookkeeping and the accounting and promotional stuff for my dad, as well as worked for an accountant friend of hers as needed. So she raised my brother and I. She was very much a swimmer. She was a lifeguard at Sutro Baths. So she had me in the water when I was 6 months old in Covelo at Town Creek, where our friends had a ranch out there. And that started my life going through school, which with a number of people in San Francisco, we had a lot of opportunity to do a lot of different sports. I wound up being swimming and soccer, played with two teams, an Italian team in North Beach and another team, a Russian team out in my area. And so it was a really good way to grow up, I think. We live right near the Golden Gate Park and Park Presidio Boulevard. So that was our kind of backyard. Graduated from high school, 67, worked at the Fillmore Auditorium. My brother and I did for a while in the 60s, and learned a whole lot of things that we didn't have to keep going for. Had fun. Moved up here. During high school, I worked at a lot of jobs. We worked for my dad in the summers, helped his crews get prepped. And then I got a job in Emeryville at a die casting plant through Metal Shop, and continued working at a delicatessen as a delivery boy and clerk. So I kind of worked through school and learned a lot of different things about business, so to speak. I didn't understand it then, but I did it. Went to City College of San Francisco in surveying and mapping. Left there to go to Alaska with 3 friends, and I went up there and worked all over the interior. I was a straw boss on a firefight crew up out of the Yukon, and we worked in canneries. So I got a good experience up there and decided I wasn't going back to San Francisco. Came up to Humboldt. I applied to Humboldt, came up to their first engineering environmental resources program as a startup. And that was in 1970, graduated in 1973. And through that process, I had Sam Panisi, who probably many of you know, was one of my later instructors. And at the same time I was living here, I was working for the Stebbins and Hunt family on doing handyman stuff for their rentals. So I knew Jeff when he was a little kid, and the Hunt family, and they kind of took me under their wing, and it was a lot of fun learning the local lore from them. As I spent my period of time in Humboldt, I also met other people who I wound up being a call-on deckhand for a crab fisherman and a salmon guide that I went to school with. And I kind of got busted up doing some of that, kept going with engineering. 1973, graduated, went to work for Winsor and Kelly. Sorry, they're, I don't know if Steve's still on there, Steve and Jessica, but they're now GHD. But I had a great time at Winsor and Kelly. They threw me out into hoopah for the first few years, and I did what they call water resources investigations on 5 or 6 different Northern California Indian reservations, working with the tribes on developing water system, means to conserve water, crops to grow. Then I went into more engineering with structural and construction management. So most things I designed, I constructed. I was a construction engineer on almost every job I've done. That included roads and mostly water and wastewater infrastructure. 1982, I was working with the Arcata wastewater treatment plant project. I was the resident construction engineer for that project, working with Bob Gerhardt and Dr. Allen on the marsh construction and the whole process for that. I went down and met Terri in 1977 at Winsor and Kelly, and we hit it off. And in 1982, we got married. And that's the same time that I shifted gears and had been doing a job in Santa Rosa for Winsor and Kelly on a 50-mile pipeline rehab. Came back up here to do the Arcata wastewater treatment plant job. So Terri and I kind of had a back and forth startup marriage, and it was pretty interesting to get us through that. I continued with that at SHN Engineering, and Terri was then the business manager for SHN, the first business manager. And I continued my work in Hoopah, for Yurok tribe work, and got into hazardous waste management and testing and design, rehabilitation of properties. Did that for the rest, really that, and civil engineering for the rest of my career at SHN. Worked on projects in Eureka, Arcata, the dock projects. In Eureka, I was a construction engineer and design of civil on that project for the C Street Matticat Square, tore down the old Lazios and rebuilt what's there now. I retired in 2015, holy criminy. All right, hang in there, folks. 2015, and the Rotary has kept me going. I started Rotary with Terri in 1992 as a Rotary Andy, and really enjoyed the international and community service aspect of that with Southwest Eureka. So I was really hanging out and doing all their projects with them. And I joined Rotary in 2002. I became president in 2013-14, and my Rotary wife was Jessica. And we had a kind of went down to different programs together and got to know your club as Terri had moved over to your club. And I had been to 8 international conventions. I've been to 5 what we called Festival of Brotherhoods. They were project fairs in Guadalajara, Mexico. So I've done quite a few projects of water and wastewater and health clinic situations in Mexico. That's about it for, I guess, what we're up to. I'm really glad to be in your club, and I'm looking forward to I've been surfing for 60 years and backpacking and diving, so I'm going to keep that up as long as my little body keeps going. Thanks, you guys. Enough said.
Marty, we're so grateful to have you here with us. And, you know, you and Terri are a dynamic team in Rotary and in so many ways. And you mentioned about raising the average age of the club. I'll throw a quote that my dad keeps telling me, because he's up above his 80s now. He says, "You're not old until you're mold." You're still doing it. You're still out there hiking and surfing and doing what you love. So you're not old. You're one of us. And there's nothing wrong with getting old, right? That's an honor that not everybody gets. So thanks for chugging along. Okay, up next, one moment. We have an opportunity for a little hands-on work. One second here. Okay, so AJ has arranged a little mini swap project. It's a continuation of our greenhouse at Peninsula School. And once we finish that, we'll move on to the water project. But this weekend coming up, there's a few people signed up, but last night there were 4 slots still available to jump in and help in a COVID-safe outdoor hands-on. So I'm hoping that after this meeting today, 4 more lucky people will sign on, because I'm going to be out of town that weekend and I really want to work on it. So somebody's got to get in there in my honor, at least. And it doesn't have to be, you know, with the tools. We got an opportunity for a second photographer because we're going to get all the angles and the excitement of what's going on there. So definitely follow the link in this week's meeting announcement. And AJ had sent it out last week. Get yourself signed up if you want to do something this weekend. We have a little challenge coming over from Rotary Club of Eureka. They're out for blood. I wish it were October. That would have gone better. But I like their graphic here. It kind of looks like their wine bottles or something there, maybe feeding them wine. But no, really, this is a challenge to all the Rotary clubs in our area. And I'm sure John would be super stoked as one of the very involved people working at the blood bank if Rotary of Arcata Sunrise happened to show up in mass and drain ourselves to the community's advantage, so to speak. So look for that coming on September 25th. The only hesitation I have there, John, and you know, I know right now isn't type O or a couple of types in the O range in desperate need. So I don't want people to wait if they're that type.
Yeah, if you're O positive or O negative, we'd love to see you. The sooner the better.
Yeah. Anything more you wanted to say about this particular drive?
What we're hoping to do is have each Rotary club in the area host the drive and invite all the other clubs. And if we can get everybody involved, we can probably have a Rotary blood drive every other month, year round. And that would be outstanding.
Well, tell you what, John, we're going to do our best to not beat, but come up to the challenge that Rotary Club of Eureka put forth. But why don't you look ahead on the blood bank's calendar and let Arcata Sunrise know when our month should be based on the need over there.
Cool.
Sound good?
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You bet.